Okay, so you're 6'10 plus and you want to be able to dribble. Well, I've got a bit of a guide for you here. Unfortunately, I don't have a hand cam or anything like that, so you're just going to have to bear with me while I explain the moves. But a couple of ground rules I want to go over for you. Firstly, if you are 6'10 plus and you want to dribble, you need to be very efficient. You're not going to have handles for days basically any higher than bronze. In fact, I don't think you can get it any higher than bronze, so the only way that you can increase that is if you were to max plus 1 or 2 it to silver or gold using your max plus 1s or 2s. Now, for the purposes of this video, I have put it on to gold. Normally I just leave it on bronze and try and keep my dribbling as efficient as possible. That being said, if you are 7'1 or below, you can get it. If you are 7'2 or above, you cannot get handles for days, which is even more reason why you have to be efficient and effective. Make sure that you dribble as few times as possible to create the space that you need. Now, some of the animations that I prefer, I have all of these ones that you see listed here require no higher than a 70 ball handle. The Giannis dribble style is a 55 speed with ball. If you don't have that, I will cover in the later half of this video what you can do if you only have a 40 speed with ball and a 40 ball handle. But for now, we've got a 55 speed with ball for the Giannis dribble style. I use the Ben Simmons size up, the Pro breakdown combo, the Kevin Durant escape moves, the Pro combo, the Pro cross. Now, the behind the back Kevin Durant, the normal is also really good, but because I'm going to cover that in the later part of the video, we're using the Kevin Durant for now. The spin, that's up to you. Hesitation, definitely want Kevin Durant, and the step back, you definitely want Pro. Now, the triple threat is a little bit personal preference. I like Zach LaVine, a lot of people like Kobe. I'll explain why later in the video, but Zach, essentially, you can spin out both ways from the triple threat quite quickly and quite effectively, whereas Kobe's really quick one way and not quite so good going the other way. Alright, so those are the animations that you want. Now, as we step onto the court, what you're going to want to do is master, I think it's 4 very basic moves. First and foremost, the step back. Everybody knows how to do the step back. You just hold R2 and flick down on the right stick. Now, the Pro step back, whether it's standing or moving, it's the same move. It's just a nice simple snatch back that can be really effective if you want to try and create a bit of space to shoot off, or alternatively you can actually speed boost out of it as well in both directions, although I have no stamina. So again, handles for days, people. Right, let me show you the some stamina back. Okay, so you can speed out of it going to ball hand, and you can also speed out of it going to the offhand. So the simple step back, holding holding R2 and flicking down on the right stick. Now, following up from the step back, another very simple move is the behind the back. So while the ball is in the right hand, we're going to hold R2 and we're going to flick down and to the left. Okay, the ball in the left hand, we're going to hold R2 and we're going to flick down and to the right. Now, the standing behind the back is pretty average with Kevin Durant. His explosive behind the back, though, is very, very good. Now, to do the explosive behind the back, what you're going to do is exactly the same move, but as you do the move, you're also going to push up and or to the left or right with the left stick. So we're going to go behind the back and up at the same time. And you'll see that's quite a good explosive behind the back. Great way to escape and get to the rim for a dunk or a layup. Now, another move that I like to utilize is the breakdown combo. So to do that, we're going to hold R2 and we're just going to flick up, just one flick on the right stick. That's going to initiate this breakdown combo sequence. And again, I like the Pro one. Gives you a couple of opportunities that you can burst out of. I also like to use it as a setup move, throw the behind the back in, okay, off the middle of that. So that's a simple R2 and then flicking up on the right stick. You'll notice also while you're doing this that it doesn't use stamina. Look at the stamina down below. And the entire time you're doing that size up, it doesn't use any stamina or adrenaline. And that's one flick of the stick, okay? Really good setup move to break out of and explode with different moves, which we'll talk about in a minute. Now the next move set that you're going to need to utilize are the escape moves. Now I'll be brutally honest, the turbo escape cross, which you hold R2 and flick up and away from the ball, so in this case ball's in the left hand, we're going to go up and to the right. I don't think that's actually super impressive. It gets lots of space, but it's what I call a sluggish animation. Same with the tween. In fact, the tween's even worse. It's very, very slow. Nothing too exciting about that. So the actual regular escape moves with Kevin Durant are not particularly great in my opinion. However, the escape combo moves with Kevin Durant are exceptional. And to do those, you're going to hold R2 and then you're going to flick left right or right left. Now if the ball's in your left hand, you can do a combo cross by going right left. Okay, so again, ball's in the left hand, I'm holding R2, I'm very quickly flicking right and then left, very quickly, like right left. Okay, that will initiate that. Now again, that particular move you can speed boost out of really nicely, get to the rim. Alternatively, you can combo into other moves from that, or it's also really good if you just happen to use a screen, create a bit of space, shoot off that. Now instead of going right left or put the ball back in the other hand, sorry, let me go back this way. So instead of going right left, this time I'm going to do exactly the same procedure, but I'm going to go left right on the right stick. So it's left right. Okay, and you'll see that gives you a really nice explosive launch towards the rim. That is a really good move if you want to get around your defender, burst in the rim, dunk, layup, etc. So with the escape moves, try not to use the regular escapes, use the combos, left right or right left, okay? Make sure you use those. And that's pretty much it when it comes to dribble moves. You can do spins, you can do all sorts of things, but realistically, again, you don't have a 91 dribble. You want to keep it really simple, or otherwise you're going to get drained and you're not going to have any stamina to finish anyway. So simple moves like going from the step back into the explosive behind the back, or alternatively, you can go for a cross combo, again, explosive behind the back, or you might use the explosive burst into the step back. I find that's a really good, and you can chain that. But again, look at the stamina, look at the adrenaline. It goes pretty quick, and that's with handles for days, so you can imagine what it's like if you don't have any of that stuff. So realistically, simple combinations that you want to try and incorporate. Use the explosive combos, hit that with a step back afterwards, or potentially into the explosive behind the back, especially if you're using Kevin Durant. They all chain really, really nicely together. One of the things I like to do as a combination chain is I'll start with a step back and then I'll hit him with a breakdown combo, and then out of the breakdown combo I will explode. When the defender commits, I'll explode and attack the rim. So step back to create a bit of space, start with the combo. If you see them shuffle left or right, that's when you burst out of it and attack the rim from there. So the key is going to be able to make sure that you execute your combos efficiently and effectively. Don't waste your dribbling going backwards and forwards, not moving. See that? All I did was a few extra combos I didn't need to do, and now I've got no adrenaline. Like, it's pretty easy to mess up. You want to keep it simple. You don't want to overplay yourself, otherwise you're going to end up looking very silly. But wait, I don't have a 70 ball handle. Okay, alright, you can still be effective and efficient with a 40 ball handle. Anything above that is bonus, but a 40 ball handle is all you need to actually cook and create some really nice shots for yourself. The downside of having a 40 ball handle is your animations are very limited. Starting with normal. Now spin whatever you can get, but normal. I still use the Zach LaVine triple threat. The only real difference with these animations, the dribble style, you could choose the Domantas Sabonis dribble style. It's not too bad. I still think the normal has a better blowout dribble. And the only other one potentially would be the step back. The basic step back is actually not too bad from a standing step back perspective, but bear with me and we'll show you why we use the normal. So those are your animations. Right, so the number one move you're going to have in your bag as a 40 ball handle is the normal behind the back. It is an absolutely spectacular move for that rating, and you can chain it, you can just spam it, so it's a really great move to keep in your bag. So if you remember from the first part of the video, we're just holding R2 and we're going to flick down and to the opposite side of the ball hand. Ball's in the right, we're going to go down to the left. Okay? From that, you can speed boost out of it if you want. The timing of it is awkward. You sort of have to wait until the ball hits the hand before you run. You can get a really chunky animation out of it. But realistically, the standing behind the back is great if you want to shoot off it, or you just want to create yourself a little bit of separation to do something from there. The explosive behind the back, which is again is performed the same way, it's just you also add in up or up and to the left with the left stick towards the rim, like that. So with the ball in the left hand, I'm holding R2, I'm going to flick down and to the right with the right stick, and I'm going to go up and to the right with the left stick. Okay, that's a really effective move. It's pretty good. It's very similar to the Kevin Durant explosive behind the back, maybe not quite as explosive, but again, we're talking a 40 ball handle here, and you could chain that up off the back of the standing behind the back. Or what I really like to do is I like to do the explosive behind the back and then hit them with the moving step back like this. I just think that's really shifty for a 40 ball handle. You can potentially have a screen, pick and roll, go around the screen, big man drops thinking that you're going to roll into the rim, and then you pull the mid-range. This is just getting shifty and creative, and that's just two moves, behind the back, step back. Okay, it's nothing fancy, it's nothing crazy. Two moves, keep it simple, otherwise you're going to run out of stamina. And the last move we're going to add in is just the simple escape moves. Now again, the normal turbo cross escape, holding R2, flicking up and away from the ball hand. So ball's in the right hand, we're going to go up to the left. It's not too bad, okay? It's decent, it gives you a little bit of lateral movement, it's semi-snappy. You're talking 40 ball handle here, and you can chain them backwards and forwards. It's not too bad. But really what you're going to use is and again, the tween is pretty mid, to be honest. I'm not a fan of the tween. So if you're going to use the escape, make sure you use the turbo cross or use the escape combo. Now the escape launch, if you're holding R2, ball's in the left hand, we're going to flick left right. So it's just like the Kevin Durant, where you're trying to burst to the rim. It's not a crazy move, but again, we're talking 40 ball handle. It looks shifty, it looks cool. You can chain it backwards together. I think that's not a bad little move to have in your bag. You don't kill anyone with it, but you can use it as a setup. Conversely, again, instead of going right left, we're going to go left right to do the escape lateral combo cross, just like a smaller version of the Kevin Durant that you saw earlier on. Now that, quite a cool move in itself. It's not bad. Again, 40 ball handle, and you can combo that. You might go straight back into the behind the back, or you might go the explosive behind the back potentially. Otherwise, you might go into that, hit them with the step back, explosive behind the back, Oster slide. Like, there's lots of different combinations of these 3 or 4 moves that you can do. You can go from a turbo launch, escape combo, behind the back, explosive behind the back, Oster slide, go back into the rim and finish it. The key here is not to do too much with it. The key is to pick your spot, do 1, 2, maybe 3 moves and get to it. Okay? And the final move that we're going to put into our bag is the misdirection. To do the misdirection, you're basically going to do a size up in any direction, and you're going to very quickly do a turbo cross or turbo behind the back in the opposite direction. So we're going to cross to the right and then really quickly do the behind the back. Okay, cross behind the back, and it's got to be before the animation is completed. Otherwise, it will just do a cross into the behind the back. It's not going to be the same. You got to do really quick for it to be the misdirection. Like that's quicker than the normal combo cross setup that I gave you before. So that is something that's potentially a little bit more advanced for some people, but They're a pretty cool move. I actually don't use them too much, to be honest. Again, I think that is more snappy. So as opposed to doing that, I'd rather do that. So instead of doing the misdirection, I'm literally just doing a size up into a behind the back. That's all. I think that's more snappy, if you ask me. So that's just Ben Simmons size up into the behind the back. Like, that is more effective and more efficient than that, if you ask me. You tell me. It's up to you. Work on your dribbles. Work on them. Spend some time in the lab. There's no point in basically picking up the sticks, chucking on some new animations and chucking into the wreck, because you're not going to get enough possessions to actually work out what does work and what doesn't, what combos and what chains. You must spend some time in the lab. You've got to take the time, come into the My Court, test it out in here, test it out in the My Career games, test it out in the open court challenges, test it out even if it's a one-on-one against your mates in the My Court here. But make sure that you practice stuff to see what works for you, see what chains nicely together, see what the timings are. Otherwise, you're basically never going to get the handles.